Hey, do you remember that thing from the end of Arrow with the green glowing box?
Oh yeah. Whatever happened to that?
Nothing! It wasn't this! It was nothing! It
Wait.
should have been this! But it was nothing!
That would have been cool.
It would have been.
Yeah.
Green Lantern.
Welcome back to the Out of Touch podcast. I'm Chris, that's Bill, and today we are talking about Green Lantern, Beware My Power.
I'm shocked you remembered the title.
To be fair, I had to look at the side of the spine of the video.
Man, you are so lucky that you're sitting on that side of the table.
I was like,
I
what's
should
it called?
have did this.
Yeah. Anyway,
The latest DC animated movie. It is the first Green Lantern one in, over a decade.
yeah. The last one was Emerald Knights, right?
Yes, a tie-in to that Green Lantern live-action movie that,
Oh yeah.
let's face it, nobody really saw that.
No. So, anyway.
This movie is technically part of the new interconnected universe, usually called the Tomorrowverse, which is going on a weird trajectory because we had early days Superman. Oh, he met Martian Manhunter, and then he met early days Flash in the Justice Society movie, and then we had an early days Batman adventure, and now there's just the Justice League. Shut up.
Yeah. Before we get into Green Lantern, I want to say like the Tomorrowverse, because I don't know what else to call it. It's very interesting because I think the stories are pretty good for the most part, but it's like tone is odd in a way where I'm like, man, I'll be watching it and I'm like, man, these are awesome. These are kind of like the shows that I remember when I was a kid. Oh, wait, somebody just got brutally murdered. And I don't get what's up with that.
I mean, that's how these animated movies have been for a while. It's like, yeah, it's just like the cartoons, like, oh my God!
Yeah.
That man's head just got chopped off.
It's just like, it's as good as the cartoons as you remember, with brutal violence sprinkled in every once in a while, and it's shocking and weird when it happens.
You'd think I'd be used to it by now.
Yeah. So anyway, Bill, what did you think of Green Lantern, Beware My Power?
You looked at the box again.
I did.
Oh my God. I would say I largely liked it. It's one I've wanted another Green Lantern thing for a good long time now, and it was nice to finally get it because a while back rewatched both First Flight and Emerald Knights, and I was like, man, I want another Green Lantern thing. And it was a little light on real Green Lantern stuff, but because they spent a lot of time with the Rann-Thanagar War,
Yeah.
which is more of its own thing, but it was still pretty cool. I have a issue, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
And it was interesting. You know, it's Jon Stewart, though he has Kyle Rayner's origin story, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much, at least when it comes to his Green Lantern powers.
Yeah. I mean, he's obviously got the usual Jon Stewart backstory. He's a Marine.
Yeah.
Though this gives like some PTSD from his time at war,
Yeah.
which is interesting.
Yeah, I would say I overall really liked it. I liked seeing Jon Stewart because I'm kind of like, yeah, Jon Stewart, that's the Green Lantern I know. That's the one from the cartoon.
I mean, I know him, but I also know Hal Jordan because he was the first Green Lantern I encountered.
I knew of Hal Jordan because
Look,
my mom is a big fan of Green Lantern.
I watched the Super Friends when I was a kid, and he was in it.
Yeah.
So I always knew about Hal,
Yeah.
even if I didn't know his name was Hal. Because when I saw the Superman cartoon and they gave Kyle Rayner more or less Hal Jordan's origin story, I just didn't know that was wrong.
I thought the one in the Superman cartoon was like a completely different guy.
No, it was Kyle Rayner,
It was Kyle Rayner.
but he gets like summoned by Abin Sur, like Hal Jordan usually does.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That was during that weird time when Hal Jordan went crazy and became Parallax and was like a villain. We'll get to that.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say, the animation in this like new style, I really like it. I like all the character designs. I've said before. The action is pretty cool. It flows really well. There's some great fight scenes. I guess I don't know if we should go like beat by the story because I guess it's like you kind of explained it already.
It's pretty straightforward. Something happened, and the last living Guardian crashes on Earth and gives the power ring to John Stewart.
Yeah.
We find out something happened to Hal Jordan. He's presumed dead. Him and Green Arrow travel to Oa, and the Lanterns have all been wiped out.
Yeah. So it's weird. We get to see at the beginning of the movie Martian Manhunter, Vixen, and Green Arrow. Only Green Arrow and Green Lantern travel together. Or
Someone's got to stay behind and watch Earth because all the other Justice League members are conveniently indisposed of off screen.
Yeah. It is kind of interesting that they had both love interest from the cartoon for Jon Stewart in this movie. It's like
That is weird.
You have Vixen at the beginning, and then you meet Hawkgirl, and you're like, okay.
And not a single amount of ship tease between any of them.
Yeah, really.
I thought for
Not
sure
any.
they would do a little bit with Hawkgirl, but nothing.
Yeah. To be fair, Hawkgirl's kind of very different than she is in the cartoon.
She's very angry warrior woman in this.
Yeah. Also, I know Green Arrow normally acts like this,
Yes.
but after watching the Arrow show for 8 years, I'm always like, why the heck is Green Arrow so jokey? This is so weird.
Yeah.
And I guess that's not the way he's supposed to be, but that's the TV show I watched, and when I see him acting like that, I'm like, this feels weird.
So it must be weird going back to Justice League Unlimited when he acts like that.
I guess so. That's a good point, but
Is it because he's wearing the Robin Hood hat?
I guess at least in this version, he kind of had that Oliver Queen looking suit on that kind of threw me off, And yeah, and he has the hood. If he has the hat, I guess I can accept the jokiness.
He's he's got that stupid hat. Of course he's an idiot.
Yeah, it's look at that hat. It's ridiculous.
What the hell's he doing?
But when he's got the hood and he's got his cool suit and stuff, and then he cracks a joke, I'm like, who are you?
What's happening?
Yeah, this is weird.
My God.
But that aside,
The whole plot centers around a war between the planets Ran and Thanagar, which is how we get Hawkgirl, and we also get Adam Strange.
yeah, who is kind of a weirder DC character that gets quite a bit of play, but I never remember anything about him.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in episodes of Batman Brave and the Bold and Young Justice. He was a main character in Krypton.
Oh yeah, that's a show that I should watch one of these days.
Yeah, it was bittersweet because we had this show with a really great rendition of Doomsday and a really great rendition of Lobo and freaking Brainiac. And where was Superman? Where was he? He was nowhere. He was erased.
Yeah, another long line of DC shows about a superhero without the superhero in it.
God.
They're doing that again.
I know.
Anyway,
Back to Green Lantern.
Green Lantern. Yeah.
We see Sinestro's up to his usual shady stuff.
Yeah.
And he's presented as the main villain, but twist,
He's definitely not.
he's a henchman.
Yeah, it's weird. I guess we see some other Yellow Lanterns, but it was kind of vague because
One or two, maybe two of them had the yellow ring, but then there was just freaking Despero was just there.
Yeah.
That was weird.
it's like the Blue Girl definitely had
Yeah.
Sinestro powers.
And then there was just some guy with knives.
yeah,
What was that about?
then a big guy.
Yeah.
And then
Kind of. Didn't one of them kind of look like Doomsday to you?
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
He had those spikes.
It's weird.
I'll say there's some pretty good fights between those people. There's a really good one with the one bigger alien guy kind of running all over the place while doing some stuff where I think Green Arrow is shooting arrows at him and he has an endless supply of arrows that he misses a lot.
Yeah, man went to space with one quiver, and it's a very tightly packed quiver, clearly.
Yeah.
At one point they all get captured, and holy shit, Hal Jordan's alive!
Yeah. And I guess
Voiced by Nolan North.
yeah, which is kind of weird because you hear his voice a lot, even in DC things. So
He's voiced Hal Jordan before,
yeah.
a long time ago. A really long time ago.
I mean, fair is fair. he's pretty good most of the time when he's in stuff. So, like, he definitely has like a voice though that you recognize like instantly. You're like, hey, I know that guy. That's Nathan Drake.
That's Deadpool.
Yeah.
That's Superman / Superboy. That's Cyclops.
He was Cyclops.
He was Cyclops.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
From the other X-Men show.
The third X-Men show.
Yeah. But I'll say this version of Jon Stewart is pretty cool. He's kind of very reluctant at first. He's like, I don't want anything to do with this.
I forget the actor's name, but he is the guy playing Hawkman in Black Adam.
That's interesting.
Yeah, especially because Hawkgirl's in this movie.
Yeah, weird. But I like how Jon Stewart, he's kind of reluctant, but at the same time, he's not, being like a little bitch about like having powers or anything.
That'd be way too out of character for Jon
I know,
Stewart.
but like you know how it is.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah,
there's the reluctant hero.
I don't want to
to
be a hero. I don't want these powers. Take it away.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't want them, but he's just like, look, if I gotta use them right now, I'll fucking use them.
Yeah, and he's just like, well, I guess I better like learn what to do. So like he starts learning from the ring and everything.
He's like, I don't want to die.
Yeah. I guess I just appreciate that. Like, he doesn't want the powers, but at the same time, he's willing to get shit done and, like,
Sure.
not be, like, a whiny bitch about it.
Yeah.
Which is something that would annoy me. But, yeah, like you said, he has the PTSD with, he was almost stabbed to death when he was in, I guess it must have been, like, Afghanistan or Iraq.
One of them.
Kind of vague.
I think they say, but I don't remember.
Yeah, so he has like a scar on his hand from catching a knife in his hand.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Brutal.
pretty crazy. But yeah, like you said, Hal Jordan shows up, and first sign of Hal Jordan not being himself is he's a murderer. Just murders people.
Kills a motherfucker with Hawkgirl's mace.
Like right off the bat. And starts off with like a joke where he's like, "Oh, I'll get it for you, my dear," and then he just murders that guy.
Well, as we do find out, when Hal Jordan fell, he sent away his ring and was left exposed to Sinestro, who exposed him to the Parallax parasite and turned him into fucking Parallax.
Yes.
He didn't look like that, but
No, he didn't.
it's fucking Parallax.
It is Parallax. I will say his design in, this movie is pretty cool for Parallax. I would prefer the shoulder pads and the cape, like, added to it. But hey, you're not going to do that in 2022, so.
Why the fuck not? It's
I don't
comic
know.
book shit.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
It looks cool.
Go big or go home.
Yeah.
This is kind of where I get a little conflicted because it's just like, okay, so he's possessed by this thing, but how much of it's him and how much of it's the parasite, and then he dies, and that's kind of that.
Yeah. I mean, I
And
guess.
this continuity has never even had Hal Jordan in it until this movie, and now he's gone.
Yeah, and we do learn it's like all we know about Hal Jordan is he was the best of the Green Lanterns.
Yeah.
And then he got infected by the Parallax entity by Sinestro because Sinestro thought he could control Hal Jordan if he infected him with Parallax.
Even though Parallax is like the embodiment of fear.
I guess he didn't know that part.
Probably not. Now, granted, I don't know if this would get a direct sequel, but this could totally lead to a rebirth Blackest Night situation, which that's kind of what I want.
Which would be cool. It's kind of weird though because this version of Jon Stewart, like you said, he has the Kyle Rayner origin where a Guardian gave him the ring. There's no other Green Lanterns as far as we know. They're all dead.
We see a few familiar faces as corpses.
Yeah.
Tomo Ray, you're dead again! The computer guy, he's dead. I didn't see Kilowog.
That's true. Kilowog might be alive.
I hope so. I like Kilowog.
Possibly Guy Gardner's dead.
That looked like him.
Yeah. That might be him.
Jeez.
But, it's a weird status quo for Jon Stewart to be in this situation. I will say it's interesting because he's infected by the Parallax entity, Hal Jordan, and he wants to, I guess, remake the universe somehow by starting this war between the Thanagarians and Wrens for some reason.
I think he just wants to destroy them all. I don't know.
Yeah, he gets...
Motivation's a little sus.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like he's bad. He's just like, I'm a god now. It's interesting because Hal Jordan, but I guess before him, Sinestro, first kind of holy shit, like brutal death from the Tomorrowverse where Jon Stewart summons his ring and it goes through Sinestro and like kills him like a bullet.
That was nuts.
Yeah, and his hand is like covered in blood. You're like,
That's
whoa.
Much like the previous universe before, it's like, fuck it, we're just gonna drop bodies left and right. We don't care.
Yeah.
And then they'll make a finale movie where they kill everybody.
Man, not again.
Yes, again. And you know what? Then the Flash is gonna run back in time, and the whole damn thing's gonna start over again.
I will always remember that Justice League Dark movie, Apocalypse, because it's just like, that came out right when the pandemic started, and it's just like, here's your Justice League movie for this year, 2020.
Everybody dies!
Yeah. Make a bad year even worse. You like superheroes? Well, not anymore, because they're all dead.
And every time you think, oh, that superhero's still alive, they're gonna die 2 seconds later.
Yeah. So I hope that's not where we're going with this.
I mean, we don't know where we're going. I mean, we know that we're getting a War World movie in this continuity.
Yeah.
As far as I know, that's the only movie in this continuity next year. Unless that Legion of Superheroes movie is somehow in this continuity.
She could be.
Maybe.
Um,
There is still that Constantine short film in this continuity. I still haven't gotten around to watching that.
oh yeah, I forgot that even existed.
Yeah, I gotta watch that.
Yeah, so, you know, Jon Stewart, Parallax, Hal Jordan fight, and
John gets all the Green Lantern rings away from Hal, except for the one.
yeah,
But then, fucking Green Arrow, right through the chest.
yeah,
Jeez.
it's just kind of like pretty sad because, you know, Green Arrow was kind of like, he was my best friend, and I murdered him. And it's kind of brutal, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were some times where some of the issues with, you know, the Jon Stewart's motivation just seemed like, because I'm evil now.
Hal Jordan.
Hal Jordan. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I think that could have been handled a little better.
Yeah.
But that's something that they could also build upon. He could show back up as the Spectre at some point.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I'm trying to think, like, what else in this movie is, like, kind of worth talking about, because it's, like, it's good. You know, all the Tomorrowverse movies have been pretty good. I don't know if that's the official name.
I don't think there is an official name.
You know, maybe DC should do that for once. Like, actually give stuff labels just to make it easier to talk about stuff.
No.
No, never.
Even the DC animated universe isn't an official label.
Yeah. They're just movies. Deal with it.
Some of them connect, some of them don't. Just like the live action ones. Shut up and watch.
Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know.
I hope we don't have to wait another decade for another Green Lantern thing.
I guess we'll see if that live action show ever happens.
They've been talking about that shit for like 2 years.
That thing was like announced with HBO Max.
Yeah?
And then they're like, hey, what happened to that Green Lantern show? Shut up. That's not happening.
No, they're like, shut up, we're working on it.
Yeah.
It's like, didn't you start casting? Well, we're still writing it. Why'd you start casting then? Shut up.
Why'd you tease that John Diggle is going to be a Green Lantern? We never did that. He just had a box from space. That could be anything. Could it be a Green Lantern ring? No, of course not. That's stupid.
We have plans for Green Lantern. What plans? We're not ready to talk about that yet. Are you ever going to be ready? How about those plans that you guys said you had for Blue Beetle? You only just now made a Blue Beetle movie.
Man.
Arrow wanted to use Blue Beetle like 9 years ago. Also, the question. How about the question? What were your plans with the question? I don't see any plans with the question.
Seriously.
Unbelievable. So flip-floppy on what they allow and what they don't allow.
Yeah. But
I'm just glad that they don't fuck around with cartoons anymore. They just let them do whatever at this point.
yeah, I mean, they really do let them do whatever.
It's like, oh, you want to kill a beloved character? Okay.
Yeah.
You want to snap Superboy's neck? Okay.
Yeah.
You want to blow Batwoman up? Okay. You want to wait? Why is there a list of like 20 more superheroes on the kill list? It's like no reason. I'm gonna kill all these fucking superheroes.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, solid DC animated movie.
Yep.
Next one in Tomorrowverse. I don't know what else to say. I liked it. It was cool seeing Jon Stewart back as Green Lantern.
Yeah, that previous continuity, he was just kind of there. He
Yeah.
never really got anything to do. Then again, neither did Hal Jordan.
They kind of,
They were always in the background.
I mean, Hal Jordan had a little bit to do, and
And like two of those movies, but then he kind of just disappeared. And Jon Stewart just suddenly there one day. I'm like, hi, I'm Jon Stewart.
yeah,
And then I don't know. I guess they all died.
yeah. I mean, the only thing I remember about the old like continuity with Hal Jordan is he had the one moment where Batman made him look like so stupid. Where
He took the ring off his finger.
yeah, Batman's just like, how does this work? And he has like the Green Lantern ring. That was a good moment.
Yeah.
Probably the best moment in that whole movie, honestly.
Yeah, that movie's kind of meh.
Yeah.
But
But anywho, yeah, Green Lantern, Beware My Power. Go watch it, I guess.
at least you got the title right again. Did you have to read it this time?
Of course I had to read it this time.
Oh my god.
My mind is completely shot.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching.